cult of Hasan Abi. That's a fentakill, not a pentakill. I mean, it's an ace for sure. It's a squad wipe. Anyway, let's watch. Let's watch what's going on. So
in the last 3 months than they did in all.
So, at least 11 New Jersey police officers were exposed to fentanyl while searching a home on Thursday, and 5 people were arrested. Camden County police officers executed search warrants at an apartment in the 1000 block of Harrison Avenue. So I guess what they did was what did they do? Did they fucking coat the asbestos with like fentanyl? Is that what happened? Like, how did they get what's the funny way that they're describing this fake bullshit now? They brought in hazmat teams, dude. What are these cops doing, man? It's unironically, the propaganda is so strong that it has created mass hysteria to a degree where it's like literally rendering police operations useless in certain points, which I think is pretty funny. You're not supposed to believe the lies you're telling to the public, you fucking idiots. You're not supposed to believe the lies. You're supposed to make other people believe it, but like you're not supposed to believe the lies. Anyway, the 11 officers treated have been released from the hospital. The other 4 men arrested were identified as people who are impossible to kill with fentanyl. These guys have immunity, okay? Adam Brackenridge, Donald Horn, Stephen Thomas, and 45-year-old Tyrone Perry, for some reason, just immune. Cops were literally like, we should give their bodies to the medical world to study their level of immunity to fentanyl. For some weird reason, they just are super immune. 11 cops, not immune. 4 men, so immune that they can live in this fent house. First and foremost, we are very thankful that all of the officers who were exposed to fentanyl have recovered, and they're all healthy and safe. Yeah, well, they were never actually in that situation. They ate the fentanyl devil fruit. This is probably normal protocol. If I was one of those officers, I would like to get checked for exposure to hyping up an article over nothing. My friend, it goes, the police relationship with fentanyl goes far beyond, oh, this is just a routine process. It's the cop kryptonite. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's called cop kryptonite for a reason. Police can't be around fentanyl for any extended period of time because what ends up happening is they overdose for some weird reason in ways that fentanyl is not supposed to overdose you. Either we still have not been able to figure this out. Either it's because like cops have this uncontrollable urge to just immediately take as much fentanyl as possible and snort it, or they're just making it up. And it does seem like they're making it up. I'm out of the loop. Why do you think they're faking it? They're not faking it. It's like reefer madness. Fentanyl is a very dangerous drug, but they want to elevate how dangerous it is because, that way you can get more money. That way you can ask for more funds. That way you can further criminalize drug addicts, shit like that. It all plays the same role that the war on drugs did, okay, originally. It's basically the same shit. So the DEA and everyone else, like the media, plays a role in basically creating this attitude around fentanyl that like cops are just getting fucking these crazy reactions just by being around fentanyl. I've shown you examples of this being reinforced in television shows like FBI, CIA shows and stuff like that too. It's totally made up. People work with fentanyl all the time. People in hospitals work with fentanyl all the time. EMT workers are constantly in the same exact situations as cops are, and none of them fucking die. None of them have these like weird reactions. It's part manufacturing consent and part mass hysteria. So what ends up happening? Wait, are you trolling? No, I'm not. They're not making it up. They're having panic attacks. No, that is making it up. Someone somewhere along the way made up that like cops can't be around fentanyl because fentanyl can fucking fentanyl can kill you through like skin contact and skin exposure or whatever, which was completely made up. And fentanyl itself does not induce panic attacks, but cops believed it, and now they believe it so much that they unironically have panic attacks anytime they're around fentanyl. They wear hazmat suits anytime they're around fentanyl, even though there is no way for them to get like fentanyl exposure through the skin and fucking die like this, okay? Or not die. None of them actually die. They just have an actual panic attack, which is ironic because like when you look at the fent exposure in the cops, okay, whenever there's like fent exposure videos, which by the way, you can find on my YouTube channel, I love laughing at dumb cops who claim to be like killed by fentanyl all the goddamn time. I've done like multiple videos on this subject. Anyway, regardless, one of the main things you see in all of these, one of the most consistent through lines in all of these situations is that these cops, before getting pumped full of Narcan, okay, what these cops end up doing or the symptoms that they show are inconsistent with like actual fentanyl overdosing, because fentanyl doesn't kill you by making you go, okay? Fentanyl, as a matter of fact, when it kills you, is killing you by basically shutting off your fucking flow of oxygen in your body because it's making you calm down too much. That's the most reductive way that I can describe it to you. But these guys are hysterical, okay? Yeah, respiratory depression. So that's usually how you die off of fucking fentanyl. You stop breathing, not because you're breathing too hard. Meanwhile, these cops are basically behaving in a way that is consistent with a panic attack. They also never, ever report the toxicology reports. They never actually reveal the toxicology reports after all these fentanyl overdoses. You know what I mean? Surprisingly. But there is a deliberate reason for that. So my point basically is that, they've done this originally to like beef up the war on drugs narrative, even though fentanyl itself is like a very dangerous drug for sure. And now the cops are believing in it, and they are becoming hysterical and think that they are legitimately in a state of death. I mean, here it is. There was a video I did on this. A TikToker debated a cop who OD'd on fentanyl. She lied about it, and he owned her pretty aggressively. You have to have like an ounce throw at your face from 1 foot away while snorting. Yeah. So, yeah, it's just like it's a total fabrication. It's totally made up. It's manufacturing consent. And ironically, I think it manufactures consent in like, wine moms and stuff in middle America. But it also has been able to successfully manufacture consent within the police force that truly believe that like fentanyl skin exposure could kill you. But it's weird because like not a single one of them have ever asked like the EMTs that are also on site how they simply seem to evade fentanyl deaths and overdoses for some weird reason. Why doesn't it happen to firefighters? Why doesn't it happen to the EMTs? Why doesn't it happen to the nurses and doctors in emergency rooms? Why doesn't it happen to the doctors and nurses that actually work with fentanyl in general? How? How is it that it's only cops? It's weird, man. It's weird, but very effective. Anyway, this is what Miss USA wore at Miss Universe. The Ukrainian one wore like some fucking crazy shit. People were saying it's cringe, but I think it's kind of cool. It's better than this.